Hi guys. I was really interested with this week's topic about gaps and how our classes bring together the gaps that we see in our interest or our practice or our research. And one of the things I want to talk about actually got my mind going was something that Angel said. It was in the third week video blog, but she had commented about something because last year I really focused on dance as a culture, and I'm still really interested in different kinds of dance and different genres of dance and how they relate and how they correlate with each other. And last year I really focused on the actual movement, how the movement overlaps each other and how they have so much in common. And I wanted to overlay like the history of each dance genre and the culture that it belongs to and all this sort of stuff. But because of our first year review, I kind of got uncertain and not as confident with that idea as I thought I was. And she said something though that really struck me. She said, maybe you should think about not necessarily like focusing on a dance genre's actual movements, but focusing on their ideals. And I was like, yeah, because that's kind of what I was trying to do. I feel like when you do focus on the movement, you automatically do those ideals, but separating the movement from the ideals is something that I really want to look at further now. And so that's just something that I learned in this class that has kind of like combined the gaps. And then I've been looking over my past choreography a lot and trying to find similarities within it and ask myself questions, because when I first came to grad school I was really passionate about creating dance or like sending a message or creating kind of a narrative, but not like a storybook narrative, but yeah, it's still a narrative. And I kind of saw that throughout all my pieces. There's little types of narratives throughout them. Like I'm always telling a story. It might not be like fed to the audience, but it's kind of back there in my mind, and there are characters that are developed. And I think that really shone through on this last piece that I did last spring. And I really liked our guest artist Michael, who spoke at Dance Matters, when he was talking about how he doesn't start with characters, but they develop in his pieces. And I like immediately connected to that. I was like, yeah, that's totally what I do. And then the last thing I want to talk about is why or what inspires me to create. And I think that has a lot to do with in our dance and ethics class right now. I feel like I like to create things about things that I don't feel that are ethical, I guess. Not that I guess, I know. I feel like I have to send a message to something that this is wrong, and instead of like speaking up about it or doing some protest about it, I like to stick it in my choreography. And I feel like that's what really pushes me to create the best movement and the best works, is when there's something that I feel is wrong, like ethically and morally, which morally goes into what's ethical. But yeah, and so I feel like I have to solve a problem, or I solve that problem by making people aware of it as they watch my dance. Yeah, so this is something that I just like yesterday I was like, whoa, I think this is why I create the way I create. And it kind of is making more sense and making me think more to a thesis process, just putting those things that I talked about into context, like with what I'm thinking about. Yeah. I hope all of these things make sense. We all know that I'm not the best speaker, but yeah, I'm making connections and the gaps are slowly closing in on themselves. So there we go.